Hello, welcome to my garden here in Denmark. It's the 20th of April and this garden is located in the USDA Zone 7 equivalent here in Europe. And yeah, the tulips have started flowering. The tulips that you see right here that are in bloom are mainly Darwin hybrids. I purchased quite a lot of Darwin hybrids in 2022 and I put them into a basket and mixed them up, and then I planted them out at semi-random. And I will put in the names in the description for this video this time, because it's a mix. So the tulips you'll be able to find in the description, at least most of them. There are some here that I don't know the names of. Also, when I did plant these out, that does of course result in quite a lot of holes to put the tulip bulbs into. And what I did was that I purchased some tulip drills off of Amazon. And the way these work, at least here where I live, I'm not on sand, and these borders where I dug them into are not all that clayey. It's sort of clay, but not too much. What I do is I use this drill and simply dig in where I want the tulip to be, and I don't use it at full speed or anything like that. You just sort of slowly bore a hole here, and then you pull it up afterwards, and that ensures that there's a hole there. Of course, if you are on too much sand, my guess is that the hole will collapse, but here it worked perfectly. And yeah, I also purchased a bigger drill, and that one I've used for allium. I have globe masters planted throughout the garden, and there I required a larger drill. And they are not that expensive off of Amazon, but they do of course require that you have a drill. And also, even with a drill, I would say it also requires quite a lot of patience and time, because yeah, it did go faster with the drill, but it was still quite time consuming. As you might also be able to see, I've cleared out most of the dead perennial foliage. I still need to cut my roses though. This rose, yeah, it isn't looking good, but I'm pretty sure that it's just frost damage. So what I'll do is I'll just cut off some of the tops, right? And yeah, these tulips, spring has arrived. We had a touch of frost here a couple of days ago, and also the other night, and I believe that we're gonna have just a hint of frost here the coming days in the night. So some of these plants, especially some of the foliage plants, will get into issues. The tulips are pretty much frost resistant, so no issues there. Same goes with the alliums and so on. I don't expect any issues when it comes to the bulbs. Oh, and a really nice, are they called a fawn lily? I believe they are. And this is a nice looking variety, right? Nice foliage as well on that one. And yeah, I've not yet done a lot with this border right here. I want to move this border. Basically, I'll re-establish the grass here and I'll move the plants to somewhere else. And not much has happened, and I've had plenty of time, so you could say, why hasn't this project gone on? And I would love that it had. But what I prioritized was that I prioritized weeding in my normal borders instead, just to ensure that I don't get overtaken with all of the weeds while having a garden project. That has happened to me before, and this time I sort of just went in and said, okay, right now I can see some of the perennial weeds that have survived the winter, grass and so on, and quite a few of the smaller weeds were starting to go into bloom as well. So I decided to at least do a rough weeding of my borders right here. And that's where the time has gone basically. But I should now be in a much better position to have time to work on my garden projects. Yeah, that is a beautiful plant as well. That is a native here in Denmark. And it mainly grows in water. It's related to buttercups. It's in the same family. You can see that on the leaves as well if you know about the buttercups. And this one, well, it does require a very moist situation and can of course also grow in the water. I believe it can grow where there isn't water as well, but it doesn't have the same spreading behavior as normal buttercups basically. It will spread a little bit, but nowhere as much. Yeah, over here I have a magnolia. It's Magnolia C. boldi, and it did get touched by frost. As you can see on the new foliage right here, don't know if the camera will focus, but that is not looking good. I don't think the flowers will have any issues though, and it will put up new foliage, so not a major issue. It just doesn't look as good right now as it could have. I do like this combination though, when you look at this with a hellebore at the bottom of this plant, and again a thorn lily right there, and then with primroses at the back right there. I think this overall is a really nice picture as well. Moving on, oh yeah, I still have these. Should just move them out of the border really. It was when I planned my project, I moved the benches into the borders. I'm gonna establish a hard paving underneath them, and this was part of the planning process. But I should really move them out now. Just take a look at this one. That is a beautiful spring flower as well. I can't remember the name. I'll try to see if I can find it. And with a bleeding heart here, actually 3 bleeding hearts planted together. I have had issues establishing bleeding hearts here. These were put in last year, and I hope that they will last. Yeah, this over here. Let's just get the picture that we intend to get right. Just swinging around here, just check that out. That is looking good. Imperial lilies at the back of this water feature. They have been looking really good. They are coming up of the end of their flowering, and with a Magnolia Limelight on the left, and this really nice looking Cornus siberica at the back, together with, what's it called, an elder with black foliage. I believe is it called black lace or something like that. And that is actually looking really good. And with this foliage down here at the bottom of the hydrangea limelight, and as you can see, there are a couple of thorn lilies in there. There are a couple of anemones. That is the foliage of a bloodroot that has stopped flowering. And I'll put in the name for this one as well. But as you can see, it is spreading quite rapidly, but it doesn't seem to be of as... it's a native here in Denmark, I should start out by saying, so spreading rapidly doesn't really matter here. It's not invasive here since it's a native. But I just like it, and it doesn't seem to be strangling anything. And I believe you can use it in snaps as well. Perhaps I should try to make some snaps with that. And yeah, this is not looking that impressive yet. Tulips are of course looking good in there. There are some tulips in there that will start flowering later. And also going to flower later is my Allium Globemasters. They will look stunning in a month or so. Also right here, a nice patch of anemones. They look good. They look better when the sun is out. I'm filming on a day where there isn't any sun, but do check them out. It's sort of a double or filled in variety. You can see the center of those blooms sort of filled in, right? And I have another anemone over here, and there you can see that the center is yellow instead and not filled in. So it's two different varieties. I believe this one is probably the one that is better for the bees. But yeah, overall I am really happy with how this looks. Also here yet another anemone. I believe it's called Sulfur. I'll put the name in for that one. A beautiful, yeah, sort of yellow anemone. And again, a nice plant combination right here. With its witch hazel. And I'm just gonna go over what's in here. Some anemones. Again, I believe it's a double white. And also I cannot remember what this one is called. I believe it's a pea of some kind. I'll try to see if I can find the name for that one. And some fawn lilies over there. Looking really good. White fawn lily. Some snakeheads. Also looking good. And of course with the tulips surrounding that. Yeah, I really like that. Also over here, another fawn lily and some yellow anemones. This is a pure yellow. And here in spring I'm not afraid of using yellows. I just like it to be a real color splash, because in summer I'll probably limit my palette a little when it comes to yellows. I have some yellows in summer as well, but not as many. But in spring I would say just let loose. If you live in a country like Denmark, where basically everything has been brown and grey and wet, just go for a color splash here in spring. That's what I like, at least. So that's what I'm going with. Yeah, same fawn lily in here. Yeah, that is a beautiful fawn lily as well. My personal guess is that it's a pagoda. It was gifted to me, so I'm not entirely sure on the variety. But I believe pagoda is the one that you can get your hands on here in Denmark. There are not that many fawn lilies in trade here. And I do wonder why, because they are really beautiful, and if you put them, yeah, I put mine in a little bit all over the place just to make sure that at least some of them would survive. And it seems that they have. Also at the end of their flowering season, right here, is the double bloodroot. And some tulips that are closed up. This is a variety of tulips that will close up if the sun isn't out. I have not seen much of these tulips this year, because we've just had clouded and then more clouded, and then I was at work when the sun was out, and then clouded again. So yeah. But yeah, what I'll do when this video stops is I will continue with the new border. That's where the plants from the other place are gonna go. And then I'll re-establish the grass up there. At least it's still gonna be a really small patch of grass. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything too awesome, and I'm also and I'm also just gonna move the plants. Yeah, nice looking shot right here. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.